Hey, it's Mike. It is Tuesday. It's the day before I go to the National. Had another awesome Whatnot live stream sale last night. Really enjoy those. It's quick. I can get cards that people value into their hands. I'm shipping them out today. I've already started packaging them up, and it's 8:30 in the morning. I head out tomorrow for the National. I should have brought my new. Oh, I showed my new cards yesterday. That's right. Never mind. Um, I got a ton of content coming out in the next week or two, national related. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to be at the show tomorrow, Wednesday. Um, so I'll definitely put out a video tomorrow night with the things I see on the first day of the national. Today, though, I wanted to talk about a big risk that I took, and I'm not going to provide any spoilers initially, but I'll tell you what happened with this. So first of all, let's share my screen here. I was shopping, pricing out 1955 Jackie Robinson cards, and when I did a search, 1955 Topps Jackie Robinson, this popped up. And as you can see, this photograph is terrible. It's very, very small and it's sideways. And my first thought was, this has got to be fake. It's a counterfeit. Um, but I started looking at it. It looks really good. Looks good. Like, look at the edges. Let's look at the corners. Oh, that's the last one. Let's see. Here's the back of it. That's the edge I was thinking of. I know I've heard a lot from SGC and how that's how they can tell. They like to see that type of edge. So then I texted it to Mike, baseball collector, and said, I know this is a huge risk, but what do you think about this? And he said, it looks good, but I would never take that risk. And it's interesting. I'm not really a risk taker in life, but when it comes to this type of thing, when you can get a $1,000 card for a few $100s, at the time, this was priced. The auction had like 3.5 days to go, and it was at $202.50. And you can see here what it ended up selling for. I still think this is a huge, huge bargain. I messaged them, the seller, with 3 days to go and asked them, are there any creases? Are there any creases? They messaged me back with 14 minutes left, saying none that I can see. Now, at this point, I already had my Gixxon snipe set up to snipe it in the low 300s. But when I got the none that I can see, I thought this is very careful phrasing. They could very easily say, well, I didn't see a crease, but I still felt more comfortable. Now, let's talk also about their history. They have 100% positive feedback on 212 items, 41 items sold, only one other card in their shop, and that's a 55 Mickey Mantle Bowman 202. They do not do a good job of listing these. There were no other cards mentioned. There's certainly nothing sold in the last year. And I read through all of their feedback. They're selling things like lanterns and clothes. So I figure they must have just found a couple of vintage baseball cards, both from 1955, interestingly, of two of the all-time greats, and we're selling them. And so this made me feel pretty good. So when they messaged me, let's look at comps here. So a PSA 6 goes for 1436. It could be a 6, who knows? It looks really good, but it's tough to say. An SGC 3 goes for roughly $600. You got two of them here, best offer from 650, buy it now, and one that sold for 575. And then you have this terrible looking raw one that sold for 202. Here's an SGC 1.5, 282. PSA 4, 750. Here's another terrible looking raw one that sold for, well, its best offer from 300. Here's an SGC 5 old slab that sold for 900 bucks. Here's another terrible raw one, best offer accepted. So At this point, based on the condition, let's see other ones. I felt here's a bad looking raw one that sold for 300. I felt very confident increasing my max bid, and I was in a shoe store, Fleet Feet in Portland, Maine, when that message came to me saying with 14 minutes left. And uh, so I kind of bring up the auction on eBay as I'm waiting for my shoes, and I pay, and there's like 3 minutes left, and I go out, sit in my car, and I just bring up the bidding and put in a bid of 356. 'Cause I don't have time to load up Gixon again. It's like under a minute, and I don't want to risk it. So I just sit there and I put my max bin in of $356 and wait. And as you know, the last 15 or 30 seconds, the price starts coming up, coming up, coming up, and my bid of 356, with about 5 seconds left, I press enter, and then eBay, the app, just kind of freezes, and you don't know what happens for a good 5 to 10 seconds, and it's awful. But I did not win this auction. 361. I still feel like this is a really good deal. This is a really good risk. I really wish I could know who bought this so I could message them and just ask them, "What are you going to do with it?" And I want to know what this ended up grading at. Would you take this risk? Would you bid on this? Would you try to buy it? And how much would you pay for it or be willing to pay for it? It looks good, right? Let me know in comments. Make sure you're subscribed. Thanks, guys. And by the way, will you be bidding on this mantle with 2 days, a little over 2 days to go? 55 Bowman. This one doesn't look quite as good. So you've got some pretty significant edge wear there. And they don't even have a picture of the whole front. Oh, they do here. Corner wear. This one looks worse. Bad edges, bad corners. Here's the back. Same thing. So let me know in comments. I'm always curious about this stuff. Thanks for watching.